You know what's really cool? That I can already see like how my art has changed and shifted since I started this back in January. Like, look at this. This first guy right here was like, it was something. Very simple. Very simple. Weird. I would like to do some more weird stuff before I end this project. I want to do more weird shit like this one. But, like, look at this. It's just gotten to be different. Also, my spouse told me the other day, I have this one hanging on the wall right back there, and it's covered in glitter and it looks really badass. And he was like, how do you, like, people would want that, people would buy that. And I went, well, it was, people didn't. Like, I took it to a show and people didn't buy it. And he was like, you should put it on your website. And I'm like, obviously I should put it on my website. But I'm a piece of shit, and I made this nice like web store, and I haven't like officially launched it yet. And plus, I'm open to recommendations for how you show that a painting is like absolutely covered in sparkles, because it doesn't show up good in pictures. So why would anyone want to buy it? They don't know that it's covered in sparkles. Anyway. Oh, shoot. This one reminds me, I watched the latest episode of Reservation Dogs today, which is the Dear Lady episode, and it's a masterpiece. It deserves a million awards. But, I mean, just look at how, like, the style has kind of changed through time, this kind of looks like a lobster to me. Every time I look at it, I kind of think it's a lobster. It's not. It's a dagger of the mind. And like, what even is this one? Wow. This one I think is my favorite one I've done so far. Maybe this one. It's tough. I really love this little gator with his little butterflies. And I really like where my headspace was when I did this one. And here's last week's. It's like, when am I going to change the believe sign to beehive? Like, when that makes sense, I'll do it. Make it make sense, and I'll put a beehive sign up. So today is Measure for Measure, which is like, it's my favorite, it's one of my favorite. Ted Lasso, here's the thing about Ted Lasso and my beehive sign. He wouldn't know, because he's not real. Just, I think I'd be okay if I changed it. Oh! Oh, shit. You're not wrong, though. Oh my gosh. Well, now I have to change it. I'm not real. Jaron Mayani. No one's real. You're not real. This cat clawing at the door isn't real. No, she's totally real, and I'm probably gonna have to let her out. But anyway, it's Measure for Measure today, and it's like has long been one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. Probably because I was also abused by the church. And I think that whoa. God, if only you were Keanu, I would probably love you more. But you're not, so I only love you the standard amount. Anyway, Measure for Measure. Okay, so let me know in the chat if you've heard of Measure for Measure, and then like if you've just on some off chance got really stoned one day and accidentally read it or watched it or something. There are film versions. And I want to watch them. Hang on. Let's see. There was one in like 2019. No, 2020. Australia did one. I wonder if it's... Oh, it's got Hugo Weaving in it. I'm going to have to see that. I bet it's terrible, but I'm going to have to see it. Because it's Hugo Weaving. But it's also based on Measure for Measure. So we'll see. It'll probably break my heart. You saw it in the Globe. Oh my God. I feel like it would be good in the Globe. It's one of those plays that's like really heavy. It's like, so the themes generally are that like, all right, so because probably none of you have, well, except for you, Matthew Stewart Jackson, whoever you are, have seen it at the Globe in London. Probably nobody else knows anything about it. But so like here's the gist of it. It's in Vienna, and it's been a long time since what brush am I using? It's been a long time since like any of the rules and laws have been enforced in Vienna. And it's to the point where like STDs are basically overtaking the city. Basically everyone has a stud. And the Duke decides, nah, screw this, I'm out. I'm gonna go do something else for a bit, and I'm gonna put this guy in charge and just like test his mettle, basically, see if he's like leadership material. You know what? Actually, I don't know why he leaves. All I know is that he does leave, and he leaves this guy in charge who is called Angelo. And this guy called Angelo is a stickler for the rules. And he starts just like arresting people and sentencing them to death for fornicating outside of wedlock. So our like main dude, what's his name? Claudio? Maybe let me pull up a thing. Is it Claudio, the main guy? Right? Yeah, Claudio. He gets his fiance, well, he knocks her up. And so then he gets arrested and he's sentenced to death, like, in the morning. They're very quick in Vienna back then. So, but, like, everyone really, like, seems to respect this guy. So they're, like, there's kind of a hubbub about, oh, Claudio's been arrested and he's gonna die. So his sister, someone comes to his sister who is like a pre-nun. Oi, 7. Oi, no. 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 She's like clawing at the wall. Hang on. Come on. Out you get. Go. Go. Get out. Also, I'm pretty sure my spouse is listening to Limp Bizkit in the other room. What year is it? That's wild. What's he doing in there? Anyway, the sister, who is a pre-nun, a novice, I guess, as you would say, she is convinced to go like talk to this guy who's been put in charge, this Angelo character, to be like, spare my brother's life. Like, they were engaged, you know, like they're practically married, whatever. Don't kill him. He basically propositions her. Like this nun. She's a nun. She's not yet, but she's a nun. And this guy is like, and he like blames her for his arousal. Like, well, the line is, who sins most, the tempted or the tempter? Or something like that. And that has always stuck with me, like, that's a good question, but also, like, if you act on it, that's your problem. Like, we can't help you there. Most of us can be, like, aroused and be like, all right, cool. Like, I'll just, you know, think about grannies or something, you know, like, like, I'll figure it out. We're not gonna get ourselves into trouble. But this guy, he straight up, he propositions this nun because he's got the hots for her. Like, he's never had the hots for somebody before. So, anyway, while he's putting people to death for having sex, he is propositioning nuns. That's like the main point of the play. Is that these people in power are absolute shits and are hypocrites, and they'll do what they want, and they'll put you to death for doing the same thing, which I find to be really relevant in today's political climate. Hey, if she didn't want to be hit on, she shouldn't have dressed so provocatively in those nun clothes. Listen, Matthew Stewart Jackson, you know what? It's not her fault. She had a habit of dressing that way. You know, what can you do? It's not her fault. Don't blame the victim for her habits. Okay? God. So he didn't get none. No, he did not get none. He got someone else who pretended to be a nun. Yeah, it's weak fart snacksin over here. So he did get with someone who like wore a veil the whole time, and he thought that he was boning this nun, and it was not. And anyway, it's just a wildly like inappropriate play. First off, it's called Measure for Measure. Like, what are they measuring? Which just, there's a car alarm going off. I think it's done. Anyway, so it's just like, and half the play takes place in a tavern with a pimp called Pumpy Bum. Like, his last name is Bum. It's just the like owner of the establishment is Mistress Overdone. It's just such a bawdy play. I love it so much. I want to see it live so badly. I want to do a filmed version of it so badly. I love this play. That said, I don't know what to draw. As is always the case, I have no idea what I'm going to draw. I have picked a quote, I think. So there's two quotes. I have one of them pulled up. I need to pull up the other one. Let me find, because it's often not misquoted. It's quoted correctly, but the context isn't there. So it's like, who is this actually a good thing, like actually a motivational thing to say to a person? It is oft might win. I'm just going to Google oft might win. Here we go. Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. It is a really, really good quote. Really good quote. Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Oh, it's good. But here's the context of it, is that this friend of Claudio's went to Isabella, the nun, and was like, hey, you're kind of like, well, one, you're his sister, and two, you're like real hot. So if you like go see Angelo, you could probably convince him to not kill your brother and my friend. Like, use your womanly ways. So it's like, it's a good quote, but it also, in context of the play, is kind of like, I'm not sure. Anyway, so I thought about using that quote, but ultimately I picked one that's a little bit more of this character, this novice, this pre-nun, Isabella. It's a little bit more of her just sticking it to the man in the way that he wishes he could stick it to her. So this monologue, they've cut out. I found a version of this monologue, rather than finding the whole play. I should probably find the whole play. Actually, let me find the whole play. Because the little interjections are a lot of fun. And in this version that I found, they'd taken out all the interjections. I also love that the Duke is like, I'm a man of few words, but every line that the Duke has before he buggers off to go pretend to be some other person so he can watch Angelo screw everything up, every line he has is a freaking monologue. Jove. Let's see. There are 2 references to Jove. Right. You know what? I kind of just want to read this whole scene because it's so good. But it's long, so I won't put you through one person reading 2 characters. But basically, Isabella decides she is going to confront Angelo, and she says, basically, like, does he have to die? And he says, yes. She's like, why? He's like, why are you doing this? He's like, well, the law has been around for ages. We've just been sleeping on it. And now I'm in charge and I can, show my power and show how noble and holy I am, that I can, just put people to death for screwing. And he's going to die tomorrow, which sucks. She says, okay. Tomorrow. Oh, that's sudden. Spare him. He's not prepared for death. Even for our kitchens, we kill the fowl of season. Shall we serve heaven with less respect than we do minister to our gross selves? Good, my lord, bethink you. Who is it that hath died for this offense? There's many have committed it. And then Lucio, however you want to say it, in the background, he says, aye, that's well said. And that's the guy who comes to her initially and says, like, please stand up for your brother, my friend. So he's with her. At least he didn't, leave her on her own. So he's saying, yes, keep it up. That was good. Angelo replies, the law hath not been dead, though it hath slept. Those many had not dared to do that evil if the first that did the edict infringe had answered for his deed. Now 'tis awake, takes note of what is done, and like a prophet looks in a glass and shows what future evils either new or by some remisses new conceived, and so in progress to be hatched and born are now to have no successive degrees, but ere they live to end. Yet show some pity, she implores. I show it most of all when I show justice. For then I pity those I do not know, which a dismissed offense would after gall, and do him right, that answering one foul wrong, lives not to act another. Be satisfied. Your brother dies tomorrow. Be content. So you must be the one that gives this sentence, she says. And he that suffers, oh, 'tis excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. This is like when she just first starts to say, I'm done with your shit. You know what? I'm here in front of this acting duke. The pleasantries are out the window now. Perfect. And then Lucio says, that's well said. Because it is well said. She said it well. And this is the speech that I kind of love and want to do something with for this card. Isabella continues. She says, could great men thunder as Jove himself does, Jove would ne'er be quiet, for every pelting, petty officer would use his heaven for thunder, nothing but thunder. Merciful heaven, thou rather with thy sharp and sulphurous bolt splitst the unwedgeable and gnarled oak than the soft myrtle. But man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he's most assured, his glassy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as make the angels weep, who with our spleens would all themselves laugh mortal. It's just I love the idea of this, she's probably not too old. She's probably early teens, maybe, just going up to this acting duke and being like, you know what, you're being a dick right now. And if every person who was a dick was gonna be so dickish, Zeus, the gods would be you would piss off the gods if you would be so dickish. And I just love that the angels would weep, who with our spleens would all laugh, who would all themselves laugh mortal. I love the thought of laughing mortal. What does that even mean? It's just, there's so much to unpack and pick apart in this little speech. And I want to draw something about that, but I have no idea. I just don't know. What do I do? Someone tell me what to do. Woman holding up a bowl of something, emitting a glowing something or other. A glowing sword. Oh, I like the imagery of some kind of weapon. Some kind of I don't want to say feminine power, because I feel like it's more about the those that have been kind of written off, which isn't necessarily always feminine. Like, I don't want to take away from the feminine aspect of it, but I also don't want it to be like strictly I'm using my feminine wiles. You know, it's about being that smaller person and then realizing you're done with this shit and that you're going to stand up for yourself. It's like setting a boundary. A crucifix that's really a sword. Oh, that could be interesting. But I don't know that I want to do anything like very like very religious necessarily. This looks like I'm going to go kill some vampires, actually. The initial thought that I had was like just banging your head against a brick wall. Because that's what I imagine. That's what it is to talk to people in power a lot of times, is just like banging your head against a fucking brick wall. But that's not really interesting or empowering, I don't think. I like the idea of a bowl. Righteous anger. A nun's habit flowing into a noose. Oh. I mean, if we're going biblical as far as righteous anger, you know, like Jesus in the temple flipping tables, like rage flipping tables. Can you hear the like whack 90s music that's like pounding through the floor in my home right now? I don't know what's going on over there that he's like blasting My Way or The Highway, or like what was the one, Limp Bizkit? I don't like these songs from the past. He must be going through something over there. Righteous anger. Is it righteous anger that I want to show, or is it strength that like you finally tap into and say enough is enough? Is it just a boundary? Because like is that the song that he's playing right now? I can't really tell this one. A serpent has a noose. Who tempts whom? Interesting. I'd feel bad for the snake, to be honest. Kind of looks like we're about to go fishing. Snake noose. Snake noose looks like a fishing hook. Doesn't really portray the strength. Set of scales with a pound of flesh. Well, did I already do Merchant? I think I already... Did I do Merchant of Venice? What did I do for that? I did the 3 skulls. This was the Merchant of Venice. Ooh. Also, the color is yellow. I really like scales, actually. I like a scale. I like a scale. And then whatever's in the scale has to be like really off balance. It would be almost like the feather would weigh more than like what's something that represents like I don't know, like a bag of money. Like the feather would weigh more than the power. I can get on board with the scale. Let me find a good scale. I like the scale. I like the scale. The scale is the thing. Let me find a good one. Great. I'm going to start with the drawing guide. Symmetrical. Always symmetrical. And I'm going to do big scales at first, I think. And then I can make it smaller after. Right. That is not centered. Olive branch versus coat of arms. I like that. I like that a lot. No! Oh, that's why I don't have an assisted layer. Drawing assist. Dove feather versus a scepter. I could get behind it. Right. There's a base. It's actually gonna have to be smaller because the thing won't fit otherwise, I don't think. Yeah, I need to make it smaller. So here we go. I'm just gonna smash it down. Right. Oh, it's ugly. Right. And I'm gonna do the little like baskets. On their own layer. Is that too deep? I think that's too deep. I'm doing them on their own layer so I can just duplicate the layer. That's not good either. Ugh, why? Can somebody draw this for me? I can't do it. I need to trace something. How do I have to trace? Maybe this. Maybe. Hey. Right. And then I wish actually I should do as good as that was, I'm gonna do an assisted layer. And I'm going to start over. And I'm going to make sure that my chains are symmetrical. And that everything else is all symmetry. There we go. And now I can duplicate that and I can move them both to their areas. Look at that. All right, I have some scales. What goes in the scales, my friends? Actually, they can't just be just lines either. You know what I should do also? I should just use this assisted layer, or all of these assisted layers. And I should, yeah, maybe let's try that. Let's see. Let's see how that looks if we flip the base. And I'll make it longer and thinner. And, ooh, what is that? What? Rotate. There. No, because I need to redo the middle bit. So I'm just gonna do a line. And now I gotta move these guys. I still don't know what to put in them. And also what holds them on. I guess I should put little loops on the top or something. And probably... it don't fit. It don't fit. So... I'm gonna pop this down on to there, and I'm gonna make it smaller because it don't fit. So whatever it is that we do in these trays, it's gotta be small so you can like tell, like small enough that it fits, but big enough that you can tell what it is. And what that thing is, I don't know. That thing, those things. All right. I think this is generally the right size. So what's in here? I kind of want one of them to just be nothing. To just have like a glowing. Like what if it's just glowing and it's nothing? But it would be a yellow glow. So what would a yellow glow mean? And then this one has to be something very heavy, which if it's a yellow glow, it's going to look like gold or something. So I have to be careful. So maybe they both glow. Maybe they're both glowing objects, but one of them is like, how do you show power? A lightning bolt. I like it because we're talking about Jove. Can we have lightning? Doo. Doo, doo, doo. But lightning doesn't weigh anything. Come on, y'all. Help me. Help me. What's something, I mean, other than money? But I guess it does come down to money. I feel like it has to be just like a stack of coins. And maybe the coins are glowing. But so the summary is that STIs have run rampant in Vienna, and all the bawdy houses are closing down, and the Duke has buggered off and left another guy in charge. And this guy who he left in charge has decided, well, I'm going to fix the STI problem, and anyone who's had sex outside of marriage, I'm going to kill them. And the ingenue of the piece, her brother has been arrested and sentenced to death for getting his fiancée pregnant. And so a friend of her brother's says, why don't you go to this this duke and convince him, with your womanly ways. And bear in mind, she's about to be a nun. But anyway, this friend says, go convince this stand-in duke to save your brother. And she rips him a new one, which is great. But then after the fact, he's like, oh, I'm really turned on by that. And demands that she have sex with him. So it's all about double standards by people in power. But this scene that I want to use is about how she's this overlooked young woman who finds her power, and then she stands in it and rips this duke a whole new butthole. So an angelic ring on the heavy side, a stack of coins on the other. An angelic ring? Yeah, I could use yellow for both. But I want it to be very obvious that one is lighter than the other. So this other one, I would want it to be a feather or something. Just there's no way that this thing could be heavier than anything else. But the feather thing is very ancient Egypt, and I don't know if it's not bad imagery. It just wasn't what this is not what I'm intending. So, but it could work. It could still work. But I'm going to do a symbol of innocence. A little lamb. That's funny. Yeah, no, we're not putting a lamb in a scale. A flower. Why isn't this working? It's all lambs. It's all pictures of lambs. Could do a flower. A flower and money. Both of those could be yellow. Both of them could be yellow. I mean, the whole thing could be yellow, actually. I think I like the flower. All right, I think stack of coins and a flower. Oh my god, I am itchy. Please hold. Ugh. Man, don't go outside in the summertime. You'll be eaten. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but I'm the tastiest to insects. And then I'm kind of allergic to them also. Okay, I'm gonna merge all of these down. All right, we have our base sketch. Okay, let's give it some color, some dimension. I'm gonna make the opacity much lower, and I'm gonna start with black. I'll start with black, and I will use a pencil. You're swatting skiers. Why don't you go inside? And I'm gonna do this layer drawing assisted, so I only have to do it once. Oh my god, there's a bug in my house. Killed it. violence. Oh, yeah. No smoking inside. Right. And there's our... it looks like something you'd put your paper towels on. And then I'm just gonna do like a really, really basic shading situation on it. I wonder if I should... I kind of want to make the whole thing gold, actually. What if the scales were gold too? What if just everything is gold? It could be cool. Just smudging it all around, smoothing it out. I think I'm gonna take an eraser to the outside of it. Yeah. That's a big eraser. Just cleaning up the edges. Right, and now I have to not use a assisted layer because it's not symmetrical, but whatever. I guess I could make it symmetrical. I could change it. I'm gonna try and change it. I'm gonna try. I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna try and cheat. So I'm gonna edit my drawing guide so that the axis is more at an angle. And then I'm gonna line it up with that piece. And let's see if we got it right. It's such an estimation. I have no idea if I've got it right. But then we're gonna do an assisted layer. And let's see. Do we get it? We did not get it. Needs to be tilted a lot more. So let's see. Edit again. Move. I mean, it should be where it's like a 90 degree. It should be here where it's a 90-degree angle, but maybe it's not. Maybe I don't understand how this works. I mean, this is okay though, right? If it's not perfect, it's all right. I'm all right with it. No. Okay, well, we're going to do it a little piece at a time, I suppose. I don't know how I'm going to get those pieces to line up right there, the trays. I might have to just do them independently, like a chump. Like a chump. Okay, well, you can see through it. I'm not a fan that you can see through it, or that it's so much darker than the other piece. Not a huge fan of that. So I'm just going to erase the middle, erase the mid, and then smudge it around some more. I think that'll be okay. If I delete all of this, bam, bam. All right, so here's my plan for these trays. I'm going to, how do I just reset? Can I just reset this drawing guide? How do I do that? How do I reset it? Got it. Okay. Why did it revert back? Why did it revert back? We might be there now. Okay. Okay. Maybe do an assisted layer. What? Come now. Assisted layer. Drawing assist, please. Thank you. And this should be like, I mean, there should be a thicker line, right? Because it's like a chain or something. Okay. Should I have a third chain? No, I'm not gonna do a third chain. That'll be too much. It would just be too much. Okay, so I'm gonna smudge these guys out. Actually, first I'm gonna make them just a little darker, I guess, like so. And now I'm gonna smudge them. And then I'm gonna erase it. I'm gonna erase again on the outside where it's like, where I've just made it messy. I've made a Lionel mess out of it. All right, making my tray. Smudging it out. I just really like to say smudge. really like smudge. Okay, I've got a tray. I'm going to duplicate it because I'm a cheater. AKA I use the resources that are available to me. I think I might have to ensmallen these. But let's put them in their place first and see. No, actually it might be okay. I kind of like that it's almost touching the floor there. And then I'm gonna put, I don't know, just like something here to connect. So that they're like connected, you know? I'm just gonna move it to the right spot. Bang. Bang. Oops. And now I smudge. And now I duplicate. And now I move. Perf. Right, we have scales. This top bar of this scale thing is ugly. I need to smooth it out a bit. Is it still assisted? Should be. Oh, you know what? It's assisted wrong now since I changed the axis of the thing. So I have to unassist unless I want to find that perfect angle again, which I don't. I should make a suggestion to the developers that like you should have the ability to like remember your different drawing guides that you've used, and you can just kind of go back and forth between them while you're working on a piece. That would be pretty. That I'm gonna merge it all down. That's what I'm gonna do. Merging it all down so that it will be all on one layer. And so now where like all this is like kind of see-through, you can take my little smudger and smudge it all together. Boop. All right, let's put some highlights on here. I think some white highlights. I think just a little bit here, obviously a little bit on the little balls, a little bit here and here, and then, oh, that's ugly. Come on, Reese, draw a straight line. If thou canst. All right, smudge time. Smudge time is my favorite time. This might be too much highlight. But I always put too much highlight on. That's something that I've just noticed about myself, is that I will always put on too much highlight and then we'll have to eliminate quite a bit of it. But is it a problem that I'm gonna fix? No. Is it a problem? I don't think it's a problem. TBH. rotate. All right, here we go. And I'm gonna delete this layer. Not delete it, but at least hide it. Okay, we have a good looking scale. We got a really good looking scale. It's not, yeah, right? It's not a problem, it's a process. I love that. Okay, in this corner, we have weighing 0 pounds a fucking flour. Is it a realistic flower? That maybe kind of like crosses the little edges here, like so. It should be a puffball. What if it's a puffball? What do you call those things? Not a mushroom. Gross. What do you, that is a mushroom. What do you call the thing? That's what I've always called them. What do you call the things that grow in the garden? That used to be a dandelion. Oh, it's a puffball. But mushrooms are what come up when you Google puffball. But like if I were to put in here like just I mean, that's a lot of drawing that I don't particularly want to do, to be honest. And it looks like nothing, unless I did the drawing. But like, what does it actually look like? Here's what it actually looks like. If you don't like try to draw the actual structure of the thing like I just did, it looks like a dark pit, and then like it's a general circly shape, and then like, but that circly shape is white. But the reason I guess we wanted a flower was so that it could be yellow, and then it's just all smeared around. And that middle piece is all smeared around. And then there's like little starbursts all over. So there's a puffball. It looks like an eyeball. Yeah, no one said I'm a good artist. I don't like it. I think flower is the way. But if we go like cartoon flower, like this is, then we gotta go like cartoon money too, right? I'm gonna Google a stack of gold coins. Oh yeah, there it is. Bag of gold coins. Is that fairly coiny? That's more coiny, I think. Maybe? I don't know. I don't work at a mint. Is there something that's more gold than coins? I guess no, the bar. I thought about a bar, but like, I don't think it would look right. I don't think you'd be able to like tell what it was if I just put a bar in there. Plus, it's tiny. So maybe coins is the way. Thought about also. I did think about the money bag, like the comical, like lump. I mean, it is pretty funny. But the coins can glow, and the flower can also glow. They can both glow. Yellow. So I guess maybe coins is a thing. The only reason I don't want to do coins is because I'm lazy. Really. That's it. That's the only reason. I'm also not sure about this flower. It's kind of dorky. But if we're doing like really basic coinage over here, then like we should do a really basic flower. Like, does it have a stem or is it just a flower in the thing? I like the look of it better without the stem. Just do a grill. Yes. A grill on one side and just a piece of corn on the other. I'm going to start with the coins. How about that? I'll figure out what the flower is in a min. This is a great sketch, but it's ugly. So I'm going to change the opacity and I'm going to sketch over it. Or I'm going to draw a better thing over it that's not as sketchy. And I'm going to use a finer pencil just so that it's more precise. No, why did I do that all in one thing? I guess technically I should be making sure I'm doing like actual straight lines, but who cares? Like, these coins aren't even all the same height. They're just coins, you know? They're not regulated. Unregulated currency is what we're looking at here. Yeah, this. Oh, it could be growing out of the scale. You got comedy gold. What are you. Where's the comedy? Back to the gold. Back to the gold. And then rather than like drawing lines, I'm gonna kind of allude to them. Maybe I'm gonna try something. So I can get rid of that. Okay, and here's the plan. Just kind of shade these bee holes in on the sides like so to give them the illusion of rounditude, which is a word. Rounditude. If I say it's a word, it's a word. Shakespeare made up words how many years ago? 400 years ago? So if he could do it then, I can do it now. It's called progress, people. So the illusion of rounditude. Here we go. It does okay. It's why you have to weigh them, because they're not uniform. Exactly. What do they even use? Like, they're unregulated. You don't know how much gold you're actually getting. Could be nothing. It could be plastic. Not even gold. That's bad news. You'd have to get a pound of flesh instead. Right. Boop, 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 boop. All right, there's some background coins. Jungus. Cromulent. I just love the word cromulent. All right, some more. Oh, that's too dark. All right. So here's the plan: is that I'm gonna. I don't actually know how I'm gonna do it. I thought I would like erase the lines into the coins, but I don't know if that would actually work. I may have to actually draw the lines. Whatever. All right. In case it sucks, I'm duplicating this layer. And I'm going to try just erasing. Let's see. I need to go much smaller. And this will be like where the highlights are rather than the shadows. What do we think? Yeah, I'm going to have to add scales included for scale. Ugh. You know what that makes me want to do? It's a really small scale, actually. I should put a banana in there. I should put a banana in the scale. Ugh! Stupid. Stupid. Why didn't we put a banana in the scale? Why are we wasting our time on gold coins when we could have had a banana for scale in the scales? I'm honestly upset about this. You've failed me. You've all failed me. All right. Back to these gold coins, since I've already wasted enough time to make them instead of drawing a banana, as I should have done. Oh my God. You bastards. You're right. Bastards. But a banana would be heavy, and the other item on the scale needs to be like really, really, really light. So I don't think the banana on the other side would actually work. Right. Highlights are okay, but I do want to add some shadows. And I think my cat's scratching to get in, and you know this is important, so. Come on, little Finn. Come on. Hi, little baby. Hi, baby Finn. Guys, look. It's Finn. Finn. Say hello, Finn. Meow. She's not talking at the moment. There it is. Squeak. Go. Up here, little baby. Go to your little bed. Come over here to your bed. Right here. She's so cute. Right. Shading is what we were doing. Am I gonna smear those out? I might. I don't know. I definitely should. Definitely should smear these out. They don't need to be so detailed, you know? They're a tiny, tiny piece of the whole picture. So, yeah, I'm gonna smudge them. What are you doing, little baby? What are you doing? purring? You happy baby? Oh, you wanna play? You wanna play with my pencil? Bite it. Cute. Bonk. Okay. Back to work, Finn. Get back to work. I don't pay you to just sit there and purr. I pay you to work. I don't pay her. I barely feed her. She had to go on a little kitty diet. Poor thing. She's not pleased about it. Hey, can you not eat that? Can you not eat stuff? Good God, you're cute. She's so cute. Trivia. Reading on coins was put on there so you were assured of getting a good measure from the coin. I see what you've done there, Liam. I get it, and I approve, and I appreciate it. So these in the front, I'm okay with them having a little more definition to them since they're in the front. So I'm going to make like the shadows a little bit bolder, and then I'm probably going to go over the highlights too and make those a little bit bolder as well afterwards. But I'm still going to smudge them out. Finn, no. No, little one. Ah, yummy pencil. Don't eat it. I would say it cost more than you, but it didn't. You were an expensive baby. Because she kept eating plants and getting sick. I think I took her to the vet like 9 times as a wee baby cat. Because she was pooping everything up all over the house. Hi. Hi, cute Finn. Hi. Where's your puppy? Do you want to hang out with your puppy? I don't know what her plan is right now. But I'm okay with these coins. Just let's smudge out these highlights a bit so they're a bit extra. Can you stop flapping me with your tail, please? Little one. How about cats, eh? The best creatures on the planet. Bye-bye, creature. Okay, we've got some coins. How they're gonna go yellow, I'm not sure yet. Could do simply below or like behind, a layer behind, and just like color them in. What the hell is that? That is Not the brush that I wanted. How did I even get there? Okay, we could do that way. Perhaps. All right. We'll deal with that in a moment. Right now, I need a flower. And this one's okay. But I do like it better to be in the center of a little triangle. So I'm gonna take, actually I should put the banana in there, eh? L-O-L, banana. No, we're not putting a banana in there. Putting a flower in there, and it's not gonna, oh, what's a banana flower look like? Not cute. Banana flowers are weird. Right. Normal flower. If we go with the idea of it's like growing out of the thing. We just kind of do like a little kind of daisy situation or whatever. What if it's just a flower? What if there's no stem at all? Let me find some good clip art to steal. No, these are all stupid. I mean, I could just do dorky little flower. But I also don't like it. I also don't like a dorky little flower. How do I make this, how do I make it work, friends? Tell me how it works. What if it was not a flower? What if it was fire? Now, fire definitely doesn't weigh more than gold. What if it's not a flower? What if it's a fire? I think I like it better than a flower. Is that dumb? I don't care. I think I like it better than a flower though. Because these are now two things that like actually glow. And we are talking about how like finding your inner strength to overcome those people that are in power that are trying to get you to, either, plead for something you don't want to plead for in a way that you don't want to plead for it, or who are just generally putting people to death for having sex. So I feel like almost fire would be a more appropriate, not appropriate, but like a stronger metaphor. A metafire. I'm going to go with fire. I'm doing it. I'm making a choice. Strong but wrong. But it's not wrong. Because it's my choice. My choices are not wrong. When they're, strictly artistic. It's a fact. Can you make a wrong choice artistically? Or can you just make one that other people don't like? Yeah, so it'll be yellow because the only color that I can use for this particular card is, oh, I like that. The only wrong choice is to not do it. I like that. The only color that I can use for this particular card is yellow. So both the gold and the fire are going to be glowing yellow. But how do I draw fire? Draw fire. That's funny. I don't know. Do I shade it out? Do I smudge it out? I mean, it's got to have highlights and shit in there, right? Mostly highlights. I'm okay with this fire. It's cartoony, but I'm okay with it. I think we'll all know what it is, maybe. More shadow, perhaps? More shadow. Although, does fire even have shadows? Is it possible? Question I never thought I would ever ask. Is it possible for fire to have shadows if the whole thing is just light? How does it work? I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Variations that can look like it and the color changes. But it's not it's not shadows. It's like just different, it's flickers. I don't know. I'm not a fire scientist. So I don't know. Right. Let me smudge out this white here. Actually, this piece, I like it better without it, TBH. So I'm just gonna smudge it away. Right. And I'm gonna smooth this out some more. I like the deeper, like, darkness. So I like the shadow or the illusion thereof. Even if fire doesn't actually have it, I'm okay with it, you know? Okay. Let's add some yellow. See what happens. So, I'm gonna use a soft pastel. I'm gonna go fairly small brush. And I think I'll start out like heavy at the bottom here. And then I'll just like smudge it into place. And then I'm gonna clear that. That's ugly. I'm gonna try harder this time. A little bit harder. But I also wonder if it would be interesting to not have the things be yellow, but just have the glow around them be yellow. All right. So here's if the two things, actually, you know what, before we start like looking at glow, let's add some ambiance to this and put in the usual black backdrop, which I always start with the corners and then get lighter as we go in the middle. And then I smooth it out. Okay, like now I feel like we can start worrying about the glow of the piece. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is one idea for, I'm gonna actually pop these 2 yellow pieces. I'm gonna put those into their own layer so I can hide it, because I think it would be kind of cool to do just an outer edge glow that like ignores everything else. So like if I did the glow like this, where it kind of alludes to the fact that these things have a color to them, but they really don't actually. So there's 2 ways we could do it. The whole thing is color, or just the outside. No, I like the whole thing colored. Yeah, I like the whole thing colored. So, I'm gonna make these things glow, and I'm gonna do that with my soft pastel brush again, the big one, on its own layer, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna smear it around. Smudge and smear, and I'm gonna erase where I need to erase. And add more in where I need to add more in. Some glowing business. Then I'm going to add some highlights where the glow from these bitches would be bouncing off. I wonder if the fire should be glowing more than the gold. If I should just let them kind of have the same luminescence. Not sure yet. All right, but new layer, and I'm gonna put some yellow on these sides of this pole. Is this a pole? It's not a pole. I don't know what it is though. Stick. Stand. I don't know. No storms of doom tonight. That's good news. I drove through one on Monday to get to a fencing class wherein my knee got absolutely destroyed 3 days before a tournament. 5 days, I guess. I have only been able to like actually go downstairs as of today. But yeah, I drove through, like, you know, when you can like see the wall cloud and you're like, I probably should have stayed home. That's what I drove through on Monday. It was pretty wild. But we did have some storms this morning, but definitely nothing like we had on Monday. Whatever that was on Monday was insane. All right. White highlights? Yeah. There was a tornado warning in like just south of Raleigh on Monday. And that's where I was driving to. Like I drove into the tornadoes basically. Did I do a new layer? I did. So I kind of want to do a white outline of these glowing things. Like so. Is that extra? I actually don't care if it is. I'll smear it though. I'll like soften the lines up just a bit. But I think I like the white, just showing that it's like, bam, really glowing. And actually, I could probably add some more white highlights here and there. All right, white highlights. Actually, I'm gonna clean up the bottom of this fire a wee bit. white highlights time. Back to the white highlights. I actually want to add more shadow. Yeah, exactly. I think I need to add more shadows to this in a minute. I like that there's no smoke for this fire also. All right. Let's add some more shadows. And actually we'll have to delete some of these highlights. So I'm going to duplicate, and then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to delete the highlights in certain places. Yeah, a little extra shading I think is a good idea. And I'm going to do some more at the base as well. And I don't actually know if I like the highlight in the middle. Like it needs to have like just a line right there where I drew a line. No, I can't explain what that line is other than it should be there. Actually, I'm gonna just change where the highlights are in general. See what happens. So I put a highlight here and here and here and like a little baby highlight here. Let's see. I guess I need some here. And another little baby one here. And then I can put more shadows on the darker side. But not like huge amounts of shadow because they're both glowing entities here. Am I done yet? Is it time for bed? I'm ready for bed. I'm ready for bed. I think I need to maybe make these a little less because like that's like so yellow. It's too bright. You can't really make out what's going on in the coins and the fire. So I'm going to turn that opacity down quite a bit. And I might also turn the opacity down here too. Yeah, I like it lower. And then also I might just try something. I don't think it'll work, but I'm gonna try something with the background. That's fun. I actually really like that. Just fully dark. Kind of looks like boobs, but I'm not mad at it for looking like boobs. I'm gonna keep erasing and see if I can kind of make it look a little more scale, a little less booby. But also I like it a lot as it's darker. And actually, maybe I do just one big yellow behind. Let's see. To highlight the crossbar in the middle, it might break up the boob thing a bit. Let's try it. Is it less booby? It is less booby. I wonder if I should highlight a little down here too. Like really subtle highlight. Bam. Definitely less booby now. All right, so is this measure for measure? Am I done? I might be done. Except I do also wonder if this needs to be like flat across. Like if it should, like if the tabletop it's sitting on should be just dark. It looks so different on the computer screen than it does on the iPad. But here it is. Now it's less booby now. Much less booby. I want to add some darkness up here though. Yeah, the iPad is probably better. But at the same time, it's like the colors, like on the computer, I can see highlights or places where, like on the iPad, where I just added that darkness, on the iPad it like showed up as dark already. So I don't know. I don't know if it's better or not. But here we are. I think Measure for Measure, one of my all-time favorite plays. And we've got a set of scales with some fire and some gold coins. And I think it's pretty badass. Thanks for the idea, everybody. I like this one. This is fun. I think this will give people something to think about. I wonder if when it's smaller, like on card size, are you going to be able to tell that those are coins? Maybe. Probably. I mean, you can tell that it's something stacked up. I think you'll be able to figure out that it's coins. But let's see. Let's make it card sized and see if you can tell what it is. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, so here it is. Measure for Measure. Brilliant. Brilliant play. Everyone should read it, find a way to watch it. Glowing Oreos. Yes. Oreos on one side, banana on the other. Thanks for hanging out. Next week. What's next week? It's a history. Nope. It's a tragedy. It's Coriolanus next week. Am I here next week? Why do I feel like next week I'm not here? Where's my calendar? Where's my calendar? There it is. No, I'm here next week. Right? Am I here? I think I'm here. Whatever. Figured out later. Next week is Coriolanus. I don't know anything about it other than it's a really funny name. And then after that, Henry VI, Part 3. I'm ready to be done with Henry VI and that whole thing. And then Two Gentlemen of Verona. It's a fun one. And then All's Well that ends well. And that's like, it gets mixed reviews. But yeah, well, I'm definitely I'm definitely streaming the next 2 Thursdays, the 17th and 24th. We'll definitely be streaming. 31st, I'm probably going to be in Atlanta. Probably won't be streaming then. Actually, September is going to be rough because I'm going on vacay. So maybe an extended break in September. We'll see. But anyway, next week it'll be Coriolanus. It'll be fun. Thanks for hanging out and doing. I'm not abandoning you. I am actually abandoning you. Yeah, no, I am for sure. I'm gonna go get some more repetitions on these monologues that I have to do for this audition tomorrow, and go to bed. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. It was fun. I'm really pleased with how very measure for measure this actually turned out to be. So thanks everybody, and I will see you next week.